Hey guys, Trevor James with E-commerce Paradise. Today I'm going to talk to you about the 5 ways that you can gain confidence fast. So, yes, it took me a long time to get out of my skin and start making these podcasts and videos. And while I may not have gotten insanely high amounts of traction yet, it's still pretty cool that I'm creating the content and I'm actually adding it all to YouTube and a podcast, and so it's really fun. Now, the thing about e-commerce is that, yes, you are pretty much putting up other people's products and other people's content onto your website. But the key with e-commerce, and other marketers agree with this too, is that you cannot be faceless anymore. You have to show your face, and you have to show your emotions, and you have to show your personality in order to make sales. So for instance, on our e-commerce site, we have a really, really long about page with pictures and a video and all that stuff. And it really does help increase conversions. We get a lot of customers that come to us and say, hey, the only reason I bought from you is because on your about page, you actually tell your whole story. And we really appreciated watching that. So yes, you can throw up an e-commerce site and just put a templated about page up there. But the key is that you have to break out of your comfort zone, make a cool about video, put up pictures, make a cool story about how you started the business and why you started the business, and how you want to help not just the people that you're selling to, but also help the world in general. That stuff really does help drive conversions on e-commerce. And this is paramount to success when you come to creating information products. Yes, there's a lot of successful information products on ClickBank and JVZoo of people that, it's just like a slideshow and a sales letter, and maybe even have like a fake person or an anonymous person you've never heard of, on the about section on that sales letter. And yes, those may convert very well, but it's not like that person's going to be able to build a whole brand image around that product. They're only going to be able to build that one or maybe a couple different products with that image. And then they're going to get a lot of negative reviews online and on YouTube of people saying, hey, that person's fake, that person's not real. So look, if you want to get positive reviews and you want to build out a really good, solid business and brand, you have to focus on getting out of your comfort zone, creating really, really good content and helping people, and just focus on that. So here's the 5 reasons. Number 1, be fearless. You have to start out by getting rid of all that fear that you have inside of you and that anxiety that you have for creating content. Yeah, it's scary at first. Like, whenever you go Facebook Live, you're thinking, oh, the whole world's going to tune in. Everybody's going to be judging me, and everybody's going to think I look funny, and everybody's going to think I sound funny, and no one's going to want to listen. And yes, that's true. Sometimes people do judge you. People do think you look funny, and sometimes people don't want to listen. Even your best friends are like, this is hella boring. I'm not going to listen to this guy right now. I got better things to be doing, like, watching a YouTube video about whatever, but that's okay. That's okay. You're not going to help everybody, and you're not going to help even your best friends at the wrong moment, right? So you have to just create content, and you have to understand the power of indexing and creating a library of content, because your stuff's not going to get noticed for a few months probably. So you just think about creating content, especially if it's for your e-commerce site. Just start pumping it out there and set up a weekly schedule to create really good videos. I recommend doing slideshows when you first start out, and you can put your face in the corner or just be faceless in the slideshow, but at least have it your voice, not just like a hired actor. And tell about your products. And if you're just a content creator, talk about you and your story and your lifestyle, or talk about your products, your digital products that you want to help people with. So you have to be fearless. It's kind of like going to a networking event and walking in the door. It's kind of scary at first. Your heart gets pumping. You're not sure what's going to happen on the other side of that door. You're not sure who's going to be there, what kind of conversations are going to spark up and stuff like that. But as soon as you walk through that door, something magical happens. Like we break out of our comfort zone. You break into that survival mode, that survival instinct, and all of a sudden it becomes way easier to deal with, way easier to handle. And you actually start enjoying it. I don't know if any of you guys have done public speaking before, but I've done quite a few gigs with public speaking on a stage in front of a bunch of people. And it's the scariest possible thing, because inside of you're thinking everybody's going to be judging me. Everybody's going to think this or think that or whatever. But the truth is that other people's feelings are none of your business. You have to think about yourself. You have to think about how you're going to be serving that audience, and just focus on that. Everybody has the same fears in them. Everybody feels like they're going to be judged. So just know that people in your audience, they're even going to feel like they're being judged while they're watching you. And, people will feel awkward when you start feeling awkward. So that's just how it goes with speaking, with getting out there, with creating content. So you just have to understand that. So be fearless, because those fears that are inside of you aren't even valid fears, right? So just get rid of that stuff. Number 2, and just kind of went over this, but focus on being helpful. You have to focus on serving your audience. And that's what I'm wanting to do right now, is I want to serve you guys by understanding how I found success by breaking out of my comfort zone and gaining a little bit of confidence so I could create content. And that's success. And you have to understand that every little bit of success in your life should be documented, and it should be taught to other people, because other people want that little tiny shred of success right there, right? A successful moment is key. And if you can document those and index those and share them and and get people, help people with that, then you can really build an audience that way. And that's the beauty of it. So focus on being helpful. So like this 5 tips thing is all about, hey, you guys got to get out of your comfort zone and gain some confidence so that you can go out there. You can believe and have faith in a business model. You can take action consistently every day on that business model. You can go out there and know that if you spend $1,000 on a training program to pursue that business model, it's going to be worth it because you're going to take action, because you have confidence in yourself that no matter what, you're going to make it through that training program. You're going to take action. You're going to find success with that, and it's going to pay itself off in a fairly quick time period because you believe in yourself, because you have confidence in yourself. You have a high self-esteem. You don't care about other people judging you. You don't really necessarily care what they think about you, but you do care about helping them. And that's the key here, is that you have to take the focus off of you, put the focus on the person that you're trying to help with whatever you're trying to do, and everything will come to you. People will appreciate you for it. People will subscribe and follow, and whatever else, people will buy from you, right? And that's the key. Number 3, just try to be your natural self. Like right now, I'm not trying to like be some crazy public speaker with a huge script. I just have 5 talking points and I refer back to them because it keeps the conversation flowing in my mind, right? This is a monologue. This is not a dialogue. A dialogue, I would have another person to go off of. Like tomorrow I'm going to be on with Ernest Epps. Well, tonight my time, but it's going to be a dialogue. So he'll ask me questions, I'll provide answers, and we'll go back and forth like that. And that's a different conversation, but this is just a monologue. This is just me speaking to you. You don't even have a chance to speak back to me. You can put a comment, which is awesome. But unfortunately, I don't even read those comments while I'm doing these videos because the problem with that is that now I'm distracted. So I really feel like in the future I'm going to start doing that. I'll start doing live Q&A videos. I'm just not quite ready for it. So as soon as I prepare for that and gain my confidence and get out of my fear and get out of my comfort zone for that, then I can start doing live Q&A videos, which is really cool. But the thing about that, of course, is I need to start scheduling them ahead of time and market them a little bit and get people excited about it and get people to assign like a higher value to it, because if I just do random Q&A videos, whoever's there, might ask a question. That's great. I might answer it. But if I don't have a lot of people there asking lots of questions, then it kind of will feel dead, right? So I have to do a lot of marketing ahead of time to do that. But that does require a lot of confidence to do. And yeah, I mean, I would say probably 99% of the people out there are not entertainers and content creators. And the 1% that are doing it, and they had to get out of their comfort zone, have to gain the confidence to do it. And you just have to be your natural self. So this is how I talk to people normally. This is how I talk to people when I'm in a conversation. It's cool. It's fun. I like to make a point, and I have a great time doing it. So I just try to imagine my best friend or someone I really want to help on the other side of this camera, and I really hope that you can gain something from this. So number 4, understand that you're talking to people just like you with the same fears. I kind of covered this earlier, but I want to go over it again because it's really important, because you and I have the same fears in life. We have the same fear of being judged. We have the same fear of pain. We have the same fear of failure. And sometimes we can even have the same fear of success, because with success comes a lot of responsibility and a lot of eyes on you, which means even more judging, even more chances of being ridiculed when you do fail and stuff like that. So yes, we all have the same fears. And I think it's important to understand that, because when you understand that the people on the other side of the camera or the microphone from you are fearful of the same exact things you are, they're fearful of losing friends and family. Like I'm fearful of that too, but you shouldn't be afraid of that. So you have to be fearless. You have to get rid of the fear because it's unfounded. It's not real. It's just inside your mind. It's not an actual physical thing that's really happening. It's that thing that you think is going to happen for no particular reason. It's kind of just built into our psyche as human beings, right? We think, oh yeah, that could happen, when in reality, it's most likely not going to happen, right? So just get rid of the fears and just, understand that you are being helpful, and people will appreciate you eventually for it, and they're going to comment and say cool things. And when that does happen, take that and make a big deal out of it, because our emotions are important. You have to build yourself up when you're doing this kind of thing, because you won't get a lot of feedback, at least at first. So build yourself up by, by thanking them for thanking you and all that good stuff. And this especially goes for e-commerce. Your customers have a lot of fears when they're on your website. They have the fear that you might not come through, that the product might not be, as advertised when it shows up. They have a fear that it's not the best price. They could find a better price somewhere. They have a fear that, it's not going to show up right away. It's not going to be fast shipping or fast delivery and things like that. They have a fear that they might not know how to use it, that they're not going to have any support. So you have to allay all these fears in your sales page, in your website, somewhere near the add to cart button and the checkout button and stuff like that. You have to have things that allay those fears. And that's key, because if you don't, your conversion rate will be lower, because people will not have trust in you. They'll not have trust that they're going to get what they want, and they're going to be fearful of ordering from you. So all these things come into play for your sales funnel and whatever business you have, because every single marketing message you have with the customer needs to provide some sort of fear destruction. Like you have to destroy fears with your marketing messages. So you have to remind people of like all the cool things you do to make sure they're going to have a good experience. And yes, every little marketing message will build a small amount of trust with your customer base, and it's going to help you close those sales in the long run. So that's why every little marketing message is key. It's said that it takes 7 marketing messages to get someone to buy from you, and it's true. So if someone is completely cold traffic, they never heard of you, they've never seen your website or your products before, they land on your website. That's the first marketing touch, right? The more engagements they have per marketing touch, the better. So if they click more pages in your website, and then there's a pop-up and it gives them a way to enter their email for some sort of an incentive like a coupon, that's an engagement. That's really good. And then they click out of that and they close more. And if there's no more engagements, they might click out. And then you have the chance, you have their email and you have their pixel. So you can retarget them in 2 different ways. You can retarget them through Google AdWords, through their display network, which means on blogs and stuff like that, you can pop up ads in front of them that show your products and your brand image again. You can retarget them through Facebook ads. You can retarget them through Instagram ads. So all that is kind of like one like paid advertising method of retargeting. And your messages need to be in line with your emails, which is a second method, your emails. And if both of those messages align with each other, hey, you came to our website, you checked this out, this is really cool. We want to remind you that this is all the cool stuff we do to make sure that you're taken care of. And if this is all the cool stuff we do to teach you and make sure that you understand this is the right product for you. And if you want to buy, here's an urgent last second coupon thing you have to use now to buy it, whatever, urgency is really key. We only have a few left, so scarcity. So using sales tactics and stuff will get people back to your website. And if they're ready to buy and you have urgent and scarcity and all that good stuff and trust built into every single step of the funnel and reminding them of all the cool things they're going to buy every single step of the way, then it's more likely you're going to close those sales. So those are all key. All right, so the 5th way to gain confidence fast is to have your long-term goals in mind every moment of the day to keep you going. So like for me, like my long-term goal is to make $50,000 a month instead of $50,000 a year. That's kind of been my thing for a while. So I really want to be able to provide enough value to people so that they believe in me and they believe in what I teach and they take action, they find success in their own life. Because the only way I'm going to make that money is if I make other people that money, especially if I'm teaching a how to make money course, right? And so a lot of my videos are about how to make money. And so that's the key, is that if I'm going to teach you guys how to make money, I need you guys to have success in order for me to have success. So my goal right now is to create a bunch of awesome free content to help you with that. My goal with my e-commerce site is different. My goal with my e-commerce site is to help somebody achieve whatever that product is going to solve for them. They come to the site with a problem that they already have figured out that my products may solve, so they're halfway through the sales funnel. They may even be very close to the bottom. They may have done research on other blogs and YouTube and forums and discovered that that brand and that particular product solves their problem. So now the key is to sell them on my site, my company, my brand, and say that, hey, I'm the best person to buy that product. I know you have 5 or 10 other competitors you could buy it from, and they also have great USPs, but mine is even better because blank, blank, and blank. And a lot of that is just because of you and your personality. So if you were to just put yourself out there with a video and with all sorts of cool content, and they found that content elsewhere and you marketed that content to them, then it's more likely they'll actually feel the law of reciprocity, and they'll want to give back to you because you've given to them. And they'll also just feel like they've met you and that they've been introduced to you and that you're kind of a friend to them. And people would rather support their friends than someone they don't know. It's just key human nature. So just understand that. Have your long-term goals in mind. Who do you want to help? What do you want to help them achieve? How are you going to help them achieve that? And then what is the process you're going to use to attract them to you? What's the bait you're going to use to attract them? And then what is the course you're going to have them follow to get them from where they are to where they want to be. And that's it. All right. So your long-term goals should be in line with your customers' long-term goals or your viewers' long-term goals. And, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to help you guys achieve success. So my long-term goals are in line with your long-term goals. And you have to keep that in mind for your customers, whichever niche you happen to be in, whichever business you happen to be in. That's what you have to keep in mind. So I'll end it out there. How to gain confidence fast. I hope that was helpful for you guys. Definitely subscribe